Good morning, everyone. Sri Lankan Sammy here, retired with mom and dad. Thank you for joining. Let's just double check, make sure the sound is good. Yeah, everything sounds good. Everything looks good. Still waiting on that new webcam. My gosh, it's taking so long to arrive. It's supposed to be here, but it's not. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's see who is texting me here. All right. Very good. Okay. Let's see here. What am I doing? It's deleted. I'm just trying to get organized for my week. I want to say thank you, guys. I'm Sri Lankan Sammy, retired with mom and dad. I am a Canadian Sri Lankan citizen, semi-retired in Sri Lanka. And this is my midweek podcast, I call it. I don't know why I call it that. That's what it is. Thank you for hanging out with me where I just rant. And as my good friend and huge supporter, Darren, says, my nonsensical ramblings. I love that. I should change the title of this to Nonsensical Ramblings by Sri Lankan Sammy. I think that's what I'll do. I love it. And he does it out of love and respect. I know he's just making fun in a fun way. That's all. I'm not taking it in any other way. Don't worry about it. I just like to, my last vlog, I kind of ranted. And it just sometimes not a little frustrating. It just sometimes it gets to you, the monotony of life and work and everything in between. But I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to rant about something else and something that is near and dear to my heart of hearts. And it is just customer service. Oh my God. Guys, please comment and let me know a short customer service rant that you have, or bureaucratic rant that you have, so that I don't think that I'm crazy here. Am I crazy? Am I? Well, I probably am. But am I really crazy? Am I in the wrong here when it comes to thinking that customer service should be customer service, right? And that people, especially in the public sector, like government, should be in the business of providing customer service. Well, why aren't they? That's a good question. Can you help me answer it? And let me give you an example of what's going on. Give me 1 second. I just need to take care of some paperwork. I have classes this afternoon that I need to. Why is this not working? All right. So I've talked before about the issues I have with Sri Lankan customer service. And the first thing is, answer the phone the right goddamn way. All right? Answer the phone. Hello, thank you for calling company ABC. How can I help you? Not just, hello? Frustrating. Absolutely frustrating. That's number one. Darren, welcome. Hope everything is well for you. It should be late afternoon for you. I'm going to say about early evening for you. It's 2 o'clock in Seoul, so I'm going to say it's like 4 or 5 p.m. for you. All imports are held up in customs due to change in duty. Yeah. Well, I did receive something today, and it was my armrest. That arrived today. It was a week late. So anything that is already arrived in customs, I think is being processed. So because I just received it today, it's a week late. Now, the camera I have is supposed to arrive 2 weeks ago. And according to AliExpress, it's still sitting in China. The vendor says it has already been shipped out and left the country. So the system isn't updated. So I'm talking to AliExpress. Is it AliExpress or is it Daraz? I think it's Daraz. Regardless of whether it's Daraz or AliExpress, AliExpress being the Chinese company, Daraz being the Sri Lankan company that buys from China or is a middleman for vendors from China, it's delayed. Things are delayed. I understand it's going to take some time, but some of the orders are coming through. Yeah, so I got some razor blades that I buy in bulk for my head. That came today, and that was, I ordered that 2 weeks ago, and it came a couple days late. But my camera, I ordered 30 days ago. And according to the tracking system, it is awaiting a flight on June 27th. So 18 days ago. It's still saying that it's awaiting a flight. Now, according to the vendor or the seller, it has gone out. It has left the country. I bought some other things on Daraz, and I made sure I clicked on local. And they are all local. So it's saying it's local, and it's saying it is processed and ready to ship. And it's in country. So I bought a new electric head shaver. I want to try it and see what it's like. So yeah. Now what I'm doing is I'm getting mom onto the Daraz thing because it is a few percentage points. Well, not a few. It's dramatically cheaper online than it is to go to the shop and buy it. And when I go to the shop and buy it, I leverage the online price. So, yeah. I went downtown to buy a couple of electronics. Now, electronics, I'm not going to buy online because of the warranty. Now, I'll buy it from a store in Sri Lanka, like an actual store, a bricks and mortar store where I can take it back for repair. But they don't really honor the repair because it's bought third party. So, that's the problem with buying things, is that I never had to worry about a warranty or a receipt here in Sri Lanka. Outside of Sri Lanka, but here constantly having to ensure I have the receipts and everything like that, just because the products the quality isn't there. You guys have seen the videos of me with my Samsung watch, the old watch I had. Basically, it was a 2-year-old model, new in box. But because it had been sitting around for so long, the seals had degraded. And they didn't honor it. And I even went all the way up to the executive that I knew in Korea. And he says, yeah, you're not going to get anything from it. I can send you one, but, you're not going to, And I said, no, I don't want you sending me. That's coming out of your pocket. And he says, I don't mind. And I said, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the company that sold it to me to make me whole, not Samsung. Right? And he says, yeah, it's the cost of doing business. And I said, yeah, it taught me a lesson. And we just laughed about it. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's a couple $100, but I'll never shop at that place ever again. Greenware in Colombo. Is it Greenware? Let me double check because I don't want to say the wrong name. And I want to make everybody aware. Yes, Greenware Premium. Never, ever, 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 ever go there. Never shop there. Never buy anything from them. Greenware Premium in Bumblepitia. Never buy from them. So yeah, so I have bought my Darren, did you see that you are like my number one? You get a little badge on your YouTube, on my channel. You're like number one. I think I turned on that feature in my YouTube members or subscribers. So the more you interact, the higher you rank in my. So whenever you post, like whenever you post in comments or whenever you post in the live chat, you get a little crown. So I'm looking over here and you have a crown with a number one. What that does for your ego, I don't know. All right, buddy, but congratulations. Congratulations on that. It means that you are my number one person interacting with my channel. You get that crown. You get that designation. What it does inside of YouTube, what it does inside of this community, I have no idea. What it does for your ego, yeah, well, maybe bragging rights, I don't know. So, yeah, I'm just going over everything here. Customer service in Sri Lanka, the hotels are good, but again, they can also do with a little bit of work. It's hit and miss. So for example, I wanted to get a fire extinguisher for the house. We don't have it. Okay. In the event something happens, what do? I mean, if we have a gas fire or an electric fire, that's the only two things that would ever happen. Now the house is concrete, right? So if anything ever happens, it's going to happen in the kitchen, which is gas. Okay. And so I bought that gas and electric specific fire extinguisher. So it's a chemical powder extinguisher. What did I spend on it? $80. Really good one. Like a huge bottle. Big one. 2 kilos, I think. I don't even remember what it is. But anyway, it was a safety purchase and I showed mom how to use it. Then I also bought from the same company, it looks like bug spray size can, like an oversized bug spray can. So imagine a bug spray can, but maybe 2 times bigger. But it's the same idea. You pop off the top and just push. And it is for spot fires. So a fire inside of an electrical outlet or a fire on the gas range. And I showed the cook and the houseman how to use it. Okay. And I told them it's just point and spray like bug spray, point it at the base of the fire, right? So I bought those 2, put it in the house. Now, where do you buy it from? So I just Googled it, fire extinguishers. So I found this place called Allied Fire Extinguishers, and big prop ups to anybody who needs fire extinguishers. Go to Allied Fire. Allied. Is it Allied? Let me double check again. Allied Fire Protection. Okay. AlliedFireProtection.com. No, that's not them. Sorry. Is it them? Why is it .com? Nope, that's not them. Sorry, what did I do? Should just go to the maps. Anyway, I call them up, and of course, they don't answer the phone correctly, which I hate right away. It bothers me. So this place is near King's Hospital. There's King's. Oh, I have them on. Alpha Fire Extinguisher. Alpha. That's it. Alpha Fire Services. Yes, Alpha Fire Services. There they are. Yeah. Alpha Fire Services in just this side of Bumblepitia near King's Hospital. Alpha Fire Services, call them up. Now, it turns out that they're not a showroom. They're actually the manufacturer. But they help me out anyway. And so they have a showroom someplace else. So you can call them up and see where their showroom. Anyway, the woman there was very helpful, set it all up. She showed me what they had, and I said, okay, that's what I want. She goes, okay, well, you can come and pick it up in a couple of days. So they sent me an invoice, and I went and picked it up. It was very plain and simple. And they will, every year, they will recharge and certify the extinguisher. So once a year, you have to go back. He said, we'll notify you. We have your WhatsApp. We'll notify you with a message. I said, that's great. Now, that's good customer service. I go and I get what I want, and I purchase it. And I get explained how to use it and everything like that. Yesterday, I went to Baseus. BASEUS, Colombo, right across from Majestic City. And again, this is a front, like not a front. This is a brick and mortar store. It's branded Baseus. Everything inside is their branded material. Now, where this is made, I didn't really look it up. I just Googled. I needed a new headphones. And I need a new set of headphones because my old ones were starting to peel and the headband snapped. And Dad wanted a pair to listen to music and stuff on his pad while Mom listens to her stuff without disturbing each other. So I said, okay, let me give you my old ones, right? Because they're just being used around the house, and I'll get the new ones. So I went there to get that. And then I also wanted to get a new battery bank. Now I wanted to get a good one, like a strong one for the laptop in the event of a power outage. So when I go on vacation, the laptop has enough juice for like 2 to 4 hours, but then I also want a battery backup in the event, right? So that when it goes onto the battery backup, I know, like, listen, you have only an hour left, what have you. Because because if the Philippines has power outages all the time. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the router into the battery backup so that if there is and then the battery backup into the electricity. So if the power goes out, the router keeps working. Or because that's what causes the problem. It's not the laptop shutting down. Because the laptop has a battery, so when the power goes out, laptop keeps working. It's the router, it's the modem. So the modem needs to have power. So if I connect the modem to the battery backup and the battery backup to the power, it keeps charged and everything, but it's constantly working. So you're draining it. But we'll see. The place I'm living at has a generator, but there's a few seconds before the generator kicks in. And you can buy one of these little tiny little UPSs, like tiny for routers. I had one in the Philippines last time, so maybe I'll get one of those. We'll see. I can buy it in the Philippines. I don't want to buy it here and take it up because I'm not bringing it back with me. Maybe I'll bring it back. I don't know. Last time I left it with Tim, so I'll ask him if he still has it and I can borrow it. Yeah, so I went to this place, and then I also had to buy a power brick to charge the power bank, because the power bank didn't come with a charger. You have to have a charger. And I don't. I just have, my phones are charged directly by USB, not by a charger. And then I also bought a speaker for Mom, because I'm taking my speaker with me on vacation. So she was using my speaker. I bought her a new cheap one. So altogether, I spent about $200 at this place. And the customer service was excellent. The guys were really kind and sweet. And they took real good care of me. They were kind, efficient. And one of the good things is, like, when I was doing my research on the battery, it said you cannot let it go down below 10%. If it goes down below 10%, you cannot recharge it. Hold on a second. So this is the thing. This is the power bank. I mean, you can look at it. It's really nice, right? So it charges, and right now it's at 100% because I haven't used it. And it counts down and tells you how many minutes or hours, or when you use it, it has a countdown clock as to how long the current flow of electricity can be provided for. So it's a pretty decent thing. Now, this is the maximum size you can take on an airplane. It's 20,800. So just under 21,000. The maximum you can take on an airplane, I think, is like 24, 26, something around there. And it's 145 watts. Yeah, so that is something that I always wanted to have, a good battery backup, good battery bank, sort of say. Bought this new armrest. Like I said, it's in the wrong position. I got to move it over a little bit. Anyway, so they provided really good customer service. They provided quality service. And when I was doing my research on the product, like I said, it said, do not let it power below 10%. Otherwise, you will not be able to recharge it, and it voids the warranty. So when he came back and he was telling me, yeah, I need to tell you something about this, I said the same thing. He says, oh, wow, you know. I said, yeah, I did my research on it. And then, I was looking at different things, and, he said, oh, you're pretty knowledgeable. I said, yeah, like, I did my research. I know what I need. I know what I want. I need you to help guide me to the right version of the multitude of products that you have based on my needs? And he says, absolutely, absolutely. So I can highly recommend this place so far for customer service and products. Also, I'm going to go back there next month to buy all new cables. You should change your cables once every year, once every 2 years at least, your USB cables, because they wear out and they fray. So you should replace them, right? So I gotta buy a bunch of new ones before I go on vacation, because a lot of mine are frayed and at the end of life. And the other replacing ones I have are too short. They're the piece of crap ones. I like to buy braided ones. So I got to go out and buy like 5 or 6 new ones. And then I got to start planning my trip. I am going October 2nd. It's like 85 days. I'm booking the place today or tomorrow. And then I'm booking the flights next week. The flights aren't a big deal. It's the hotel I want to book. But I've got, not hotel, the Airbnb. And it doesn't matter whether I book it today or tomorrow or next week or next month, but I want to, I don't want to leave the owner hanging. And I have the money, so it's not that big of a deal. So I told her, mid-July, I can book with you and I can pay the first month. And then what happens is Airbnb, we're going to do it through Airbnb because this is the first time we're meeting each other. Going forward, when I arrive, I'm going to tell her, listen, why don't we cancel now that I'm here? I'll just pay you cash right now. Here's the cash. Why don't we cancel the reservation and you can save yourself the Airbnb fee, and then go from and see what's happened there. So, yeah. Now bureaucracy. Oh my God. So today I have to go. Well, yesterday I went to okay. So I have a Korean visa. Okay. As you guys know. And I have some pension claims that I need to do. Okay, thanks, Darren. How's that? Let me reduce the gain on this. Okay, that should have reduced the gain a little bit. So maybe that sounds a little bit better. Okay. Let's try that. Okay, that looks a little bit better on the on that. Let's listen in. Let's try this. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's too quiet. That's too loud, and that's too quiet. So right in the middle. Let's try. Okay, so yeah, that should sound better. Okay. All right, thanks, Darren. I truly appreciate that, buddy. Always looking out. All right, so what we're going to do today. All right, good. Now, I have some pension stuff that I need to take care of at the embassy. So I call them. So I go onto the website. So what I have to do is I have to file some paperwork with the National Pension Service in Korea. Okay, so these are government documents that I downloaded from the National Pension Service. Okay, it's their documents. They're in Korean and English. They need to be filled out and submitted. Now, because I'm not submitting them from Korea, I have to get them notarized. And then I have to take those notarized documents and give them to the embassy to authenticate or attest or whatever, not certified. That's not the word they use. They say attest. Okay. What does that mean? I have no idea. Okay. Because I'm a Korean, I have a Korean bank account, Korean ID, Korean everything. I don't understand why the whole process is like insane. Korea is really good about not having to do paperwork. Everything is electronic. Anyway, but this is crazy. So I go to get the lawyer, and I had to spend $80 to get that done. That was to get them notarized, because I had so many documents to notarize. And then I go to the embassy website to try to figure out how to go there. And then I call their voicemail system or menu tree. Press 1 for English, goes to sing hello. Then I press 0, disconnects. I go through the Korean. I press. I understand Korean, but I get a hold of somebody in Korean, and I said, "Listen, I'm looking to speak to someone." They hang up. So then I go to the Sing Hello one, and then each time I try a different number. I finally get a hold of someone. I say, "Listen, your voicemail system is not working properly." I press 1 for English, and it doesn't work. Oh, okay, whatever. Nobody cares. They don't care, because it's still broken today, and that was like 2 weeks ago. So I said, I'm trying to book an appointment for some document authorization. It says, are you Sri Lankan? Or it doesn't matter. My citizenship. I'm not asking for a visa or a topic or anything like that. I need to get some documents, some Korean documents authorized by the embassy as per the website. And then they're asking me irrelevant questions. Right? I said, listen, I'm a Korean permanent resident. Yeah, and that's Darren. That's because of this app. It's not my microphone. The microphone is like it's a $600 microphone. I got to figure out how to do this better, get a better sound. Maybe I need to get one of those screens, that you see on those. A lot of those people have that reduce the sound, but I do get excited too much. I'll try and work it back. Okay. Thanks again, brother. I appreciate it. So, like, and I talked to the Sri Lankan woman, and she's like, well, this and that, and that you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. I said, listen. I've lived in Korea for 18 years. I pay taxes. I paid a pension. I am calling about my Korean pension. It doesn't matter what my citizenship is. Okay. I need to submit documents to Korea from the Korean website. They're Korean documents. Okay. To access my pension and update the information. It's my money. Okay. Well, you have to do no. I don't. I'm following the instructions on the Korean website. Then she finally transfers me to a Korean representative. So I speak to them, and I said, "Can you send me the documents that you want?" And I said, "Why?" So I email it to them. Then they email me back. You have to do this and this and this and this. And I said, and the way they wrote it was just like, oh, god awful. You have to get them notarized. You have to get the Ministry of Foreign Affairs notarized in Sri Lanka. And I said, why does the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Sri Lanka? And I'm like, you meant the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Korea document signed. And it's not the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's the National Pension Service. But just stupid communications. And then you need to click on this link and click confirmation and book a time. So I do that. No time available. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell's going on here? So I called them up again, and they said, well, you have to do it between 9 and 5. I said, nowhere on the website does it say that. And then I tried for like 2 days and I couldn't get a booking. And I said, listen, how am I supposed to get this done? Because if you want a booking on Tuesday, you have to do it on Monday. And she says you have to start like right at 8:59, right? And I'm like, well, all of the slots are taken by the time I log on. And how am I supposed to schedule my day? Well, that's the Korean government. I said, hold on a second. You are a representative of the Korean embassy, which is a representative of the Korean government. So don't tell me it's the Korean government and it's not you. It's your website. I said, that's ridiculous. He said, well, try it from multiple browsers. I said, so it's a lottery thing. Is that what you're saying? No, you can get, no, I can't. I've tried for 3 days. So they're just, the whole process was. Then I finally get a booking yesterday. So I go get in there. And then I go to they call me up to the front and I submit everything. And then they said, okay, fill in this declaration. I have to fill in another document. And then they said, okay, we will confirm the lawyer's seal. And the way she said it, I said, are you asking me or are you telling me? I don't know why Sri Lankans do that. They don't speak in a full sentence. They say, okay, confirming the lawyer's seal. And I said, are you asking me or are you telling me? Like, I don't understand your sentence. I understand your words, but it doesn't make sense to me. What does that mean? And then she explained it. Now I can't see because it's a black wall. They've taken the glass and put a black screen on it. And it's just a microphone and a little hole where you can put your documents through. So I can't even see the woman's face. And she says, okay, well, we need to confirm the lawyer's seal. I said, my lawyer. The way she said it is like their lawyer. I'm like, okay. So what does that mean? Well, then afterwards, we will attest the lawyer's seal. And I'm like, does that meet the requirements of the National Pension Service? He said, well, that's what we do. I said, that's not my question. You're not answering my question. I said, according to the National Pension Service website, the Korean National Pension Service website, I need to get these documents notarized in Sri Lanka by a lawyer, by a notary, and then you need to attest those documents. I've provided the originals of my passport, my Korean ID, my pension number, all of that information and documentation. So I'm curious as to why you can't attest that. Well, that's not what we do. That's what we do here. I'm like, again, you're not answering my question. Okay. you're the Korean government representative in Sri Lanka. These are Korean documents. This is my Korean ID. I don't see the problem here. And I said fine afterwards. So I have to go today and pick them up. I know I'm going to get into a fight again with them because once I get everything in my hand and I'm ready to walk out, I'm going to lose my freaking mind on somebody and probably get arrested. So I'm going to make sure the driver has bail money or bribery money. I never do that in another country. Like say I go to Thailand or Vietnam or Philippines or something. I would never do that in another country because I don't have rights. I'm a citizen in Sri Lanka, but technically I'm on Korean territory, but I have a Korean visa. And I don't get pushed around. I don't yell and scream. I get firm. I said, explain to me how that is, because I'm not understanding what you're saying. So, yeah. So I have to go right after this. In a couple of hours, I leave. They said to come after 2:30 today to pick it up. So that's what I'll do. Anyway. All right, so yeah, just bureaucracy just drives me insane. I'm like, that's why I love the Philippines. That's why I love Thailand. I mean, they've got bureaucracy up the wazoo. They do, especially Thailand, especially Philippines. Everything is a paperwork nightmare in that country, but the people are just so good. Here in Sri Lanka, it's hit and miss. It's absolutely hit and miss. You never know what you're going to get until you get there. So, let me know, guys, your customer service nightmares in Sri Lanka, overseas. Just why is it always so difficult? And once I get the documents, then I have to go to the post office and mail them. That's going to be hell in a handbasket too. I know that I'm going to run into a problem there as well. So crazy. Anyway, what else is going on? Next weekend, I have 4 or 5 days off because my UK job, the online job I have, the owner is moving from London to Dubai. So I said, we discussed it. It's just me and him and then another couple of people, but I'm the only salesperson. It's a small startup. So I said, listen, I don't think it makes sense based on the experience I've had with inbound calls and outbound calls that if you're not available for 2, 3, 4 days, we're going to lose out on those clients because you're not going to be available to consult with them. They're going to go someplace else. They're not going to show up. So the work effort that I put in, there's not going to be a benefit if they don't show up, because I get paid when clients show up to the sales call. I'm a booker. That's what I do. So I'm a business development agent. That's what I do. I develop the business to ensure that they will go to the sales call, because 85% of people who meet with the physio and go for the free consultation, they sign up. And then about 75% of those pay. We actually had a few clients pay and not show up to the consultations or to the bookings. They paid a deposit or something. Anyway, so he said, yeah, you make sense. We'll shut down the ads because there's no reason to do that. I said, yeah, shut them down and then turn them back on like 48 hours before you go back online. That way, that'll give us some time to build up. Actually, I should remind him. I don't know if he put that into a. Yes, I'm just sending him a message. I have to do this like once I think about it, because if I don't do it right away, I'll forget. Okay, so yeah, so it is. What time is it? It's 11:15. I'm gonna wrap up soon by 11:30. I have a couple of calls to make with the London company because it's almost 7 a.m. in London. Then I have to shower and change, get ready to go to the embassy, get that taken care of, come back home. I have 3 hours of work, and yeah, back at it, and then go to bed. I started working out, which is really good. I like it. I'm feeling strong, like not strong. I'm feeling more energetic, and I'm going to bed at it. Like I'm not staying up late, and I used to do that, and then just like not sleep and only get a few hours sleep, and it was killing me. So sleep is important. Getting good sleep is important. Getting 8 hours of sleep straight without interruption is important. So what I'm doing is I am keeping the phone away from my bed so that I'm not tempted to surf, because I just keep going and going and going, saying one more video, and it just doesn't stop. I got this new game and I'm really jonesing to play it, but I shouldn't. It's called, what is it called? Infection Free Zone. Really good zombie world creator game. Really good. Good quality, good action, good play. I recommend it. It's still in beta, but it's good. I'm trying to play Elite Dangerous, but it's really complicated. It's really, really in depth, and it's too in depth for me. There's another game I got Broken Arrow, but again, it's got a long learning curve, and I don't have the time to do it. So, Darren, by the way, brother, the Sri Lankan stock market is poised to break through 19,000 today. It is 18,950. It touched 19,000 yesterday and then clawed back a little bit, but the market is up and down today. It's up and then back down, up and back down, because there's a lot of profit taking. But I am 65% return on my portfolio. I can't believe it. I have 2 securities that are over 100%. The smallest profit I have is 20%, and that's my tobacco. So I want more Sri Lankans to smoke. More Sri Lankans to smoke. Smoke and drink, please. My 2 lowest profit ones are my Lion Brewery and Ceylon Tobacco. So my alcohol and tobacco, the 2 sin stocks I own, they are the lowest, 20 and 30%. So hopefully people will drink and smoke more. So we're coming up on August and September will be 1 year that I have this portfolio, and the dividends, brother, let me tell you, according to the consensus on the street, my 2 big stocks, Dialogue and HMB, are still undervalued, and they are still a strong buy on the market. So I'll stick it out regardless. I have stop loss at 100%. So even if it crashes, I'll still get a buyout at 100%, or whoever wants to buy it at 80%, I'll still make money. Still make a shit ton of money on this one, even with my stop loss. So once it hits 100, if it hits 130%, I have a automated stop loss of 10% off the intraday high. So if it falls less than 10%, I have a trigger, email trigger. So I'm not getting out. That's what you told me last time, and it still didn't top out. So you told me that 6 months ago. So when the Sri Lankan stock market crashes, then I'll come to you and I'll blame you. Are you still on track to come to Sri Lanka in November? As I recall, you bought your tickets for early November or mid-October with your family. You're coming for 10 days or longer this time? When are you finally moving here? Come on, brother. Let's get you settled in out here. Live the Sri Lankan lifestyle. Forget those cold winters in Australia. Let's get you making some roti on the roadside stand there and some milk rice. I can imagine you over a hot stove making hoppers, making egg hoppers. So you're here for 10 days. All right. I won't be here. I'll be gone. I'm leaving October 2nd. So I'll catch you on the next round. Or if you want to come to Cebu, I'm in Cebu. Anytime you want to come out there, brother, I'll be there. But yeah, you'll be here right after the end of the monsoon season. So I've been tracking that, and after about mid-October. I know, brother. Let me tell you. But here's the thing, how much is enough, right? And living in Sri Lanka, you never need that much. But, I understand. You have family, you have friends, and you have a life in Australia. I totally get that. See, I have nothing, right? So that's the difference between me and most everybody out there, is that I'm in a very unique position since I have no one and I have nothing. Okay? Everything I have is here in Sri Lanka. I have a little bit in Korea, a little bit in Canada, nothing of any, not a big deal. You know, I have my pension in Canada, and when I get that at 60, that will top up my savings and be my safety net for medical and inflation. So, you know, once you, and here's the thing that thanks, and the reason why I think I hit a lot of subscribers, and you mentioned this, is that I'm talking about things that I've experienced that others can like kind of, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Maybe I should like kind of look into that. Not that I'm giving advice or telling people what to do or what not to do. By the way, I am selling life coaching sessions on Buy Me a Coconut. So if you want to support the channel, click the link down below, Buy Me a Coconut. That money goes to support local farmers or support the channel, whichever one you want me to do. I remember Terry, one of my other supporters, said, go out and buy dinner for you and the family with this donation. I prefer you not to use the super chat because Google takes 30%. Buy Me a Coconut takes like 6% or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, but if you want to use Google, then please go ahead and use Google. I'll take whatever you decide. But if you want life coaching, which I just did one on Sunday, the second one with the same woman who, like me, is single, no kids, and it turns out that we kind of knew the same people in Korea because she was in Korea at the same time I was, but we had never met. But she was researching people, and she found my channel and then just joined. And like you said, Derek, like people are kind of interested in my nonsensical ramblings because it touches that nerve that they have of, you know, what is real out there, because you have all of these people inundating you on your feed on TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook, the shorts, you know, find out how to do this by doing this and that and this and that. No. Guys, you will learn what not to do by listening to my stories and learning the mistakes I made. Now, I am talking about what I'm doing because that's what I talk about. Now, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? I don't know. We'll find out in a couple of years, right? But right now, everything I'm doing has been successful. Diversifying my portfolio, putting money into term deposits, putting money into gold, putting money into stocks. The next thing I'm going to be doing is putting money into a fund in Sri Lanka that has historically done better than the ASI All Stock Index by 10%. The current year over year is 60% right now, the All Stock Index. Now, obviously, that can't continue forever, but I've talked about this before. Stock markets continue trending upwards over decades. I don't have decades, I have 2 years. But if I get 10%, that's better than anything that you can get in the West. And again, the buying power of the Sri Lankan rupee is not that strong overseas, but the money that I put in was brought in. So it's not I'm using Sri Lankan rupees to buy things. I'm using foreign income to buy Sri Lankan rupees that I will then generate money from that. So yeah, you know, I got to put my money somewhere. I have to put up roots somewhere. I have to have a home base. The good thing about being a dual citizen is that this will be my home base. This will be where I set things up. This is where I will have to have that set up. Okay. So thank you, Darren, for your support, Terry, everyone else. I actually want to send a shout out to a special someone, not a special someone, but a new supporter, and that is Breathe with Denu. And this person has commented before and is a very positive person, and I really appreciate the support that they're giving and the questions that they're asking. And they're coming to Sri Lanka later this year, and I wish them the best of luck in their adventure. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. Guys, I got to wrap things up because I got to get back to work. I want to thank everyone who joins, who watches. I see you guys watching this after the fact, so please comment if you can. Remember, I'm going to do regular videos on Monday and Friday with the live streams on Wednesday and Sunday. I'm going to continue those on for the next little while. And then when I go to Philippines, I'm going to decide how I'm going to do my videos in the Philippines. I like the live stream, but if I have the time, I'm going to change the midweek live stream to another video where I do a walk and talk. But I got to be careful because of the new Philippine law with backgrounds. So it's going to be, I have to be very careful how I do it. I'll continue doing my walk and talks, but like I said, I'm going to do the videos like this so that there's no background, a little closer to my face. Yeah. So looking forward to chatting with all of you over the week. Please comment on a video. I truly appreciate the comments. When you comment, really helps the channel. I had some good comments on the last video, and I appreciate them all. I will answer all of them. Guys, I'm Sri Lankan Sammy, retired with mom and dad. Remember, don't let life live you. Learn to live life. Okay? And always be good to each other, please. Always be good to each other. And remember, we're not strangers. We're just friends who haven't met yet. See you guys all on the other side.